Hello, hello. Day 70 of 108 days of initiation to expand my human potential, to become visibly seen in my true authentic self. No more hiding. Welcome to the multidimensional detox, the layer of the environment. So the environment is, it's going to sound the same, it's enormously important. But okay, so the environment, I'm going to pull examples from my own situation. So the environment really needs to support the creation that you are creating, because it's all about energy, and it's all about our awareness, and it's all about our ability to mobilize and focus and generate and direct energy towards the creation that you are, wanting to create. And this is why it's very interesting with the horse energy, because the horse energy is the energy that we're looking for if we want to make a change, because it's when we have the ability to direct the fire horse energy, we will get a lot of results. So my biggest purpose coming to Thailand, doing this journey, this 9-year cycle, was to change myself and to really learn. I knew that there was something out there, or something in there, or something somewhere that I wasn't seeing, noticing, being aware of, didn't understand, or had availability to. So I had to change the environment. So I went from a small town in Sweden to, it's, what is it, like 1 million people? Maybe that's not, it depends on who you are. Small, 1 million people, second largest city in Sweden. I moved from a medium-sized city to a similar-sized city, actually, maybe a little bit bigger, in Thailand, but in the outskirts and close to the jungle, and completely different environment. That where I had access to other types of information and our other levels of information. And I'm not saying that you have to move country. I'm saying that you have to be aware of what your environment is providing you with and what it's not providing you with. So the actual physical environment will matter. However, we are not always in a period of time where we can transition and change the environment. So we might have to work with the environment that we have. In any shape or form, the environment is a huge mirror, because it will create either things to go easier for us, be neutral, or it's like biking in reversed wind. It's heavy, are we swimming upstreams or downstreams? So how much support are we getting from the environment? So we changed location a couple of times when we've been here in Chiang Mai, and we've always moved to where the environment would support the next level of transformation, or where we wanted to go. So first time we were in a house close to the mountains, more close to the heart of the center of Chiang Mai. Quickly we felt we have to have more nature. And then after a couple of years, we moved out to the farm and fully immersed ourselves in nature, like jungle vibes, pure jungle vibes. And then we moved to this location, and now we are looking to the next location. So the environment is absolute key to choose if we are able. And really look at, how can I affect my environment? Because how is the environment affecting me? What people are in it? What do I have access to? What is the atmosphere in this environment? What is the nature of the environment? Does that support you and your creation on the deeper levels? So mine and Simba's, we've been really dedicated to healing. So we decided to move in with our clients. And there's nothing wrong with your clients or my clients or anyone's clients. It's the relationship of being extremely close and not only isolating it to the time in and around the sessions. So we decided to create an environment for myself, me and Simba, to fully heal ourselves, to really promote the activation of the self-healing mechanism. So environment for us has been absolute everything, because it's what's been really bolstering and promoting the level of work that we've been doing. However, there's nuances within the arrangement. So for 8 years, we have been hosting the retreats in our home environment. In the first house, we lived in the same house, actually like bedroom to bedroom. That is a very special dynamic when you live together for such a long time, because the boundaries get intertwined, and there's a lot of that puts a lot of pressure on the relationship and the way that you have to show up in order for that to be a healthy, sustainable level of work, and not take it personally. And I mean, you just live with anyone and you get super triggered. Travel with someone, you get triggered. Like any type of interaction like that, you get triggered. And that was the point. So me and Simba, we really had to look at ourselves and take accountability for everything that came up. Then we needed a little bit more space. So we moved to the farm, big, like 1 acre, where everyone had their own houses. And yet that was still in our home environment, because it was our home. And we didn't let many people in during these years. It was a very secluded, just super nature, super lushy. Everyone had their little bungalow, and we had the yoga sala and ice baths and pond and fire pit and gym and all of the things. And then we closed the retreat and we moved to another location where we are now. So now we're in a joint, there's already a resort here, so there's other activities going on. So for us, the environment so far has meant a lot of interaction with a lot of other people. So we've never really had a space where it's untouched and secluded just for us, where we can live in harmony, where we're not intertwined with the business all the time. So for our next location, we are looking to separate the business and the living arrangement for the first time in all of these years. So this is going to have a big effect on us. So the way that we manage and play around and allow the environment to teach us where the environment is a lot about boundaries. It's a lot about standing in your truth. It's a lot about communication. It's a lot about the different elements that are available. For instance, when we look for a location, we want to have multiple elements. We want to be a little bit secluded. We want to be private, and we want to have access to. So in Thailand, it's not so easy to just go out and walk, to have walks. So for us, it's been very important to have access close by to spaces where we can move freely, where we can go biking, where we can go walking, where we can go running. So we all have different needs and different ways that the environment is supporting us. And we also have different types of environment. So we are talking about home environment and work environment. But there can be multiple other environments that is very relevant to you in your life. So when we look at this deeper levels of the creation, because the environment is, it doesn't come very often. But the reason why I am bringing it up is because it's super important. And for us, it's really been super important with the environment. It's been the absolute. I don't think we would have been able to create what we have created unless we would have had the ability to set it up the way that we have done. But the environment can look different. It can be a school environment. It can be, friends environment. It can be a physical environment, but it can also be another environment, like a school or a clinic or a bar, or anywhere that there's a type of environment that you are immersing yourself in on a regular basis, because that environment is going to affect us. Because everywhere we are, we become the environment in some shape or form. And when we are wanting to create something, we want to allocate a lot of energy. Maybe we want to kind of summon a lot of energy. We want to make a move. And it's the fire horse year. The fire horse it can awaken this feeling of wanting to be somewhere more aligned. So this is the time where we really look at the environment. And the environment can also be inside. So what's the energetical environment? And as we immerse ourselves deeply with the environments, that's why the home or the business or the places that we keep returning to often, they have a lot of impact on ourselves. And you can almost feel the way that your body kind of adapts when you walk into like the office or come home. If you come home from the office, then there's the maybe, or maybe you are unable to do that in the environment. So looking at the detox and looking at the way that we move through the world, and where is our space for recharging? Where is my space for productivity? Where is my space for family time? Where is my space? So we have all of these different environments that we are moving through, and we want to move seamlessly through everything in life. And where is it a lot of contrast? Where do you need to brace yourself? Where do you need to hide yourself? Where do you need to shrink to fit? Where do you need to overextend yourself? As I'm speaking a lot about the environments and the atmospheres, so atmosphere is a type of environment. So when we talk about environments, we could also only talk about atmospheres, because the atmosphere is the energetic characteristic of the space. And every single space, every single environment, no matter if it's in person or in another another type of environment, an energetical environment, an emotional environment. So if we call it an atmosphere, it covers all of them. So if you look at the environment at an atmosphere, you can look at it as, okay, what's the rules here? How are people feeling? How are people operating? Is it a certain type of speed? Is it a certain type of tempo? Are people, if we go to a bar, there's a different atmosphere there compared to a temple. So the different environments contain an atmosphere. So if we look at the atmosphere and you look at how is this atmosphere supporting me just as a person, how is it affecting me, period. So if I compare walking into a nightclub and walking into a temple, that's going to affect my body in two very different ways. Not saying that anyone is better than the other. It just has a purpose. So if I have a lot of energy and I just want to let off some steam, I want to have fun with my friends, I could go to a nightclub. I've been to millions of nightclubs. That was my home. That was my favorite place to be. So for me, it will evoke a certain type of happiness and, carefree, and because my life looked so different back then. Back then, I could spend 2 days, 48 hours in the nightclub. Now I would probably do maybe 2 or 3, and then I would go home, and I would, not go home late. However, the environment has a very strong impact on me. So every environment has an atmosphere, and every environment will affect us differently. So the environment or the atmosphere is this supporting what I am needing in the moment? So if I'm super tired and I'm so overworked, then the nightclub is most likely not the place where I would recharge. However, if I'm in really good shape and I'm the only thing that has actually been going on is that I've been working too much. So I'm a little bit understimulated. Then going to the nightclub would make me feel super stimulated, especially if I want to avoid something at work. So why are we moving through different environments, through towards, and how are we moving through from or between these atmospheres, and how are they affecting us? Am I choosing the atmosphere that I really need? Or why am I choosing an atmosphere? Like, why do I go grab a beer with my friends after work instead of going to the gym? Having a beer sometimes instead of going to the gym, that doesn't make a difference. That doesn't matter. I have even started, I had wine weeks ago. I tried having wine and it was nice. And then I forgot about it because it doesn't really matter anymore. So it doesn't matter. It's not good or bad. Is it supporting what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to create? And what is this environment? How is this environment affecting me? Is it so the nightclub environment would bring out all kinds of memories. And in the beginning, it would be fun. And then after a while, it would be sad for me. I'm not saying it will be for you, for me. And that's why I could go there and just extract the absolute gold. If I would get dressed and get up and, put the thing on and go out with my friends for a couple of hours, have like one glass of wine at the nightclub, I would have a blast. I would have so much fun for about an hour and 2. And then my body would go, I know this. This is just so like a peak. It would give me a boost of something. But is it the boost that I need? Or is it a boost that I want? It doesn't matter what we choose, as long as we know what we're choosing. Am I choosing the environment that is supporting me, or am I running away from something? Is there something I don't want to feel? Is there something I don't want to do? Is there something I'm avoiding? Or what is it? So it doesn't matter what it is. The only thing that matters is that we know why we're doing it. So it's the awareness. It's always the awareness. It's not exactly what you do. Because the action in itself might have a million different reasons and is absolutely self-explanatory. But it's the habitual patterns and the returning to certain environments. And a certain environment could be dating someone that is not really giving us the love and attention that we need or that we would like, but we're still hanging around because we really like them and we just wish everything was good. That used to be me. I would not, bring up a conversation or, I was just finding myself accepting situations and dealing with them in various ways that wasn't very healthy because I had no clue what to do. So it's the awareness that is the main key. So what are your main, identify your 5 main environments in your life. And those can be relationships, actual spaces, chess club, whatever you're doing, nature. Yep, one of my environments that I spend a lot of time is in nature, and then I can evaluate that. Is it is it good for me? Yes. Do I enjoy it? I actually do now. I usually didn't enjoy being in nature. Now I just sit and look at everything because it calms my system and I feel at peace and I feel at home. That is very big step for someone who grew up at nightclubs and just never spent time in nature. I wanted to be up at night. So different parts of us connect with different environments and at different times. You know the saying that we have the first half of our lives to make all the mistakes. So we have contrast. We have to have contrast. So we're not able to understand that my environment is bad for us unless we have contrast. So we are not allowed to be hard on ourselves because we're finding ourselves in an environment that might not be the best for us. And the truth is that the truth is more valuable than the environment itself. So just being able to look at the environment honestly is going to shift a lot. Because if we realize that we are in an environment that we are not satisfied with, we can start to work with the emotion of feeling unsatisfied in that situation. And that's when we start to change the relationship. We alchemize the energy, and then things start to open up because we're there for a reason. We ended up there for a reason. And when we start to move the energy connected to that reason, things starts to change. And that's the field work. Field work is you're working on something in outside of its home environment, you could say. So changing the energy in ourselves changes the energy in the environments. So as we start to move and shift the energy, so that's a really good way of moving stagnant energy is the environment. And this is, I mentioned yesterday, like cleaning up, all the business related stuff, cleaning out the storage, cleaning out the garage, having things in order, clean energy, environment, clean energy inside of the environment, super important. You can change so much in your life if you start to look at the different environments and what you are immersing yourself in, rolling around in. If you walk into a room and everyone's pessimistic, you have to be very happy and in a very good place to not be affected by that. However, if you were in a very good place, you would probably not return to that place more than a couple of times, because then you would know, like, wow, I get really, by hanging out with these people or in this environment. Wow, this is not a happy place. Or it's not a happy place, because that's putting a judgment on it, but it's just, this is not the environment that I feel like I'm at my best in. How is the environment supporting what I want to do? So this is an excellent choice. And changing environment, huge. For us, it's going to be absolutely massive. So we'll see when everything falls into place. Time is not linear. And this year is amazing. So anything can happen. When you start to move the energy in your environments, energy is going to pick up somewhere else. It's all connected, folks. Okay, time for lunch. I'm gonna switch environment. Thank you so much. I will be seeing you tomorrow. If you enjoy my content, please like, please subscribe. That would make me a very happy person and boost the atmosphere on my YouTube. Okay, sending you lots of love. Wish you a beautiful day. Do nice things. Challenge yourselves in appropriate ways and have a good time.